Hello everyone, I am Tacet, and today I'm going to be going over the Spirit Guide event in which the Spiritmane is added to the game. Before I do though, of course the main new feature that ended up coming in today was from the 3.3, which ended up bringing in Invasions. So let's go over Invasions first. Invasions is a game mode very similar to that of Raids. Instead of having to kill one really big boss, you have to kill multiple towers. Each one of these towers, similar to the boss from the Raids, is immune to everything. There are 6 different variants of it. Each one has a different final trait as well as a different cast, so all of them do gain durability as well as barrier every single cast they do. It does take a lot longer to get from the first stage all the way to the last stage compared to that of Raids. With Raids, it was like 4 initial stages that had a pretty small amount of battles, and then you kept doing the boss, whereas this has quite a few battles that you need to do beforehand, but also has slightly better rewards as you progress. It still has the same standard reward tab here, but you gain additional rewards from actually fighting these battles. If we go, for example, over to our mail right now, we have quite a few of these things that say event stage rewards, and as you can see, I believe most of them right here are like 5 diamonds, 10 diamonds, stuff like that. And this is claim the rest of them, and that should be 45 diamonds, as you can see right there, for the rest of them. So it gives you a little bit of diamonds every single time. I mean, sorry, why am I saying diamonds? I mean gems. Gems, big difference. Gems are those. Diamonds are the ones used in the Soul Forge. But yeah, I believe total that gave us about 60 or so. And not to mention, we also have a power orb right there, which is kind of interesting. That looks like the level up one. I don't think it gives a random one. Level up one's pretty bad. That's only like 300 or so souls if you were to go use it. But anyways, let's go and let's see, that's still the same. Unlike Raids, you do need to use a specific typing, though the typing that is determined for Invasions is based on a troop typing. So whereas Raids is based on a kingdom, this game mode is based on a specific troop type. So in this case, it is beasts. So we have to use either 4 beasts or 3 beasts plus a hero class. And that hero class can be absolutely any hero class, though there is also a beast-related hero class that we can use of the Warden. Other than that, rewards are almost near identical, if not exactly identical. I forget the exact, but from just looking at this, seems pretty much the same. It takes 16,935 tower kills in order to get all the way to the final reward. This per person, on average, you would need to have 564.5 tower kills per person in your guild on average. So basically 565 is the approximate amount you would need. As far as the shop, it is exactly the same as it was the previous week. Pretty much all you have to do is get either tier 3 or tier 4. One thing that's slightly different is instead of giving troops related to the kingdom, you end up getting troops that are related to the troop type. In this case, it is beasts. I ended up actually getting like 3 Hellcats. Again, didn't get any legends from it though, unfortunately, but did get a few epics in there. I wouldn't really bother going any further than that, again, because not really worth it. Tier 3, I would say, is the best possible value. Anything beyond that starts to get less and less value, though I do like getting the 4th one, just so we have a little bit more battles to mess around with on the first week. Of course, you can just click on your guild page, and this shows you how much progress you currently have, as well as all of your guild mates. And of course, there's still the same leaderboard with the same rewards that you would end up getting here. It is still 100% pay to win, so don't even bother trying to get on it. Hey, we're still in the top 100 right now. Too bad it won't stay that way. But yeah, I would not bother for the leaderboard, because pretty much the entirety of the leaderboard will be anyone that gets tier 7. And the rewards that you get from the leaderboard isn't really worth throwing that many gems on, or at least not in my opinion. But anyways, let's get into a couple of the battles. Of course, we have these new towers. I'm going to be using this team most likely for the entire week for our invasions. It is Black Beast. It actually does not use the invasion troop, by the way, as you can see. Black Beast, Mang. You get this weapon at 40 brown, 40 red hero mastery. It's not as effective as it was against the raid boss, but it is still very, very powerful, to say the least. I normally use it on, there's a tower here, I forget exactly what it's called. I believe it's blue-green or something, blue-brown. But it's a tower that has 75% skull reduction, so I normally use Mang on it, because not only does it have, I believe, the highest armor of any of the towers, which is good for Mang, it also has 75% skull reduction, which would obviously be pretty bad, given our team. But yeah, Black Beast up front, he devours an ally and then heals the full. That heal the full is really important, and then creates some skulls. He will not do this if there's nothing left on the team, but if you have a summoner, like here with the giant spider, we'll be able to perpetually keep summoning stuff for him to use. Unfortunately, there isn't a particularly good beast beasts summoner. You can see here we're using Giant Spider with 0 purples on the board, or on our team. We still get to use purple even though we technically don't have a purple troop, mainly because Forest Guardian does transform all purple gems to skulls and then brown to green, which will also mana generate for us, and would help once our Mang is destroyed, since we can go get green to kind of get ourselves back up, get a bunch of barriers on all of the beasts. And of course the main thing that makes Forest Guardian pretty good, and if anyone who has it should probably use it this week, is the 50% mana start to all beasts, which is obviously very good given that you have to use at minimum 3 beasts plus your hero, or 4 beasts. And I am using the Warden hero class, so you don't have to use Warden hero class, even though it does count as a beast. You can use any of them, but of course if you're using Forest Guardian you might as well, because it automatically starts with that half mana. And since we're using Black Beast, every single time he devours something, he's basically gaining 7 higher durability, 5 more armor, and 2 additional life, simply because that's applied to everything, and he's just going to be devouring everything eventually. But anyways, let's get into the actual battle. I'm going to do 3 battles right now, just to kind of show what the game mode is. Of course, we'll be streaming it later tonight and all the other days until we get all the rewards for the week. Still a little bit weird that it doesn't really have an incentive structure to keep going beyond the initial playing of it, because once you get all the rewards, it's like, okay, you're done now, unless you're trying for the leaderboard. But anyways, let's go and get our Mang up. That is the first thing we should get up every single time. If something else happens to get up in the process, that's perfectly fine. But right here, we'll want to go and determine which one we actually want to go and kill out here. He has 25% reduction, though I believe we're going to gain enough armor here that's not going to matter. So I'm going to go for the second tower, as he's going to be our next target down the line. And, okay, maybe that will matter. He might survive this skull. But we're going to go and destroy our hero now that it has used Mang. And with that, we end up gaining, of course, all of its attack and all of its stats that it had. We go and kill that out, and now whenever our Giant Spider does a summon or a cast, it will go to that slot, and then we could just devour it down and keep going over and over again. I originally had this in second slot, but I found it a little bit bad sometimes when the spider was kept going into first slot, mainly because you then have a troop that does like 26 damage or whatever it does, a really small amount, and just wasn't working out that well some of the battles, so I just moved them, and now we have Black Beast up front, a little bit more dangerous, but it goes quicker most of the time, so I'm going with it for now. Of course, in this game mode, it's not really about speed though, it really just matters if you win or not. It has absolutely no, it doesn't matter how you perform in it, as long as you get the win, that is the only thing that matters. The Raven can still appear here. Apparently on most of these tower ones that have only a few towers like these, they will always appear on not over top a tower, though I assume once we reach the 4 tower one, the bird will fall over a tower because there's no other location. But for example, if a bird was to appear here, it would actually be forced to appear in first slot, so do keep that in mind on these 3 tower ones, since you'd most likely want to use skull spam against it. Though this week in general, you're pretty much always going to want to be using skull spam, simply because of just how effective Black Beast is. Essentially any team that you're building, regardless of what point you're at in the game, for invasions this week should be completely built around Black Beast. It's also an ultra rare, so pretty much everyone has him, and even if you don't, you would likely get him from the little packs that you would get in heading towards getting a few more sigils, as well as the weapon. Also, one thing to note about the weapon, which was actually confirmed on today, the weapon is only available for the week of the event thing, so you either need to get it from crafting it during the week or get it through the gems. And personally, I'm just always going to be getting it through the gems because I don't want to waste crafting resources on it. Anyways, we'll just stick a blue right here. Not really that good to get Spider up that quickly. I really need a brown or a red right here. Obviously, none of which is available at the moment. Let's go take that. And I guess we'll take this red. He'll get some blue. That ability is really not intimidating, though. It does 8 damage. I don't know what they were thinking with that. There's already a troop that was horrible with that, the Dark Master, and then they make another one for no reason. But one nice thing about Mang 2, which is really good in this game mode, given that so many things have barrier, is it tears through the armor regardless of if they have barrier or not. So for example, if we go and target this troop right here, we will go and take all of its armor right there, as you can see. Even though it had barrier, we still took it. Our damage didn't do anything, but the armor reduction still did. So not even barrier can stop it. I hope they do not nerf this, because it is one of the most useful things in both raids and invasions right now by far. And again, you get that weapon at 40 brown, 40 red hero mastery. Anyways, this is the tower I was talking about earlier with 75% skull reduction. When using a team like this week, it's probably the biggest threat that we're really going to have, since it's the thing that's going to have the highest amount of mitigation towards us, and the only thing that could possibly stop us. Though then again, we are starting to get a little bit trolled on that damage. I need a spider to get up already. I do need to go get that so we can actually get some more durability. Luckily, this thing has pretty low attack value. Again, on these 3 towers, pretty easy to kind of keep baiting out with the initial one. You can also do barrier spam, which can keep baiting them out too, which is also pretty nice. I want to really get the spider up. Why is there not a good way to do this? I guess we'll just take this blue. We're going to have to give him a skull once again, but we're still quite a bit away from death, so not that big of an issue, even though it does look like we're going down a bit. We'll go take this just to get its mana right back up. We, of course, have that Devour chance right now. We could just go for the Convert, which I'm definitely going to do, just to get a bunch of pokes. Start tearing through his team, since we haven't really been touching it much. Now we have absolutely everything up, everything barriered, and we're good to go. Let's go move that over, go for the Devour right here, get that full heal, and then boom, we're right back up to full durability once again. And he keeps just stacking up more and more and more HP until he's essentially unkillable or max stats, yeah, either or. But yep, that's pretty much the whole strategy I'm going with this week with this thing. Oh, oops, I forgot. We didn't Mang that earlier. Probably should have actually targeted that with Mang. I don't know why I actually went for the other one. So now it is going to take us a few little pokes here. That was a bit of a mistake, but it shouldn't be that big a deal. It's just going to make it slower. It's not really going to make it any harder. Again, we'll need a giant spider here. What we cast it on right now doesn't matter as much. Just we get rid of red just because we don't actually use it anymore. Well, we kind of do when we summon it, but you know. Obviously, we're not going to be casting a 26 damage little spider thing, and that's why I didn't have it in first slot earlier, or why I have my beast in first slot. I don't want a 29 damage thing to be hogging up the skulls if we don't have a Devourer ready yet. But we'll just go throw that down. Ideally, that will actually hit us a skull, didn't that time around, but we'll just go find another follow-up. Can you stop hitting us? Wow, he just did this a lot of times. But well, if worst comes to worst, we can go and just devour out one of our like giant spider or something like that. Ideally, we would not want to do that, but if we truly had to, if times were getting tough in the battle, we would need to go for that. So he's going to get a little bit of value there. Finally, he hits not our first lot, so we'll go for another skull poke here. That will almost be... Oops, let me take that. Don't want to leave that there. Do we go for the spider? It's tempting. It's really tempting. I'll probably regret this, but yeah, let's just kill the spider out. And, oh, it missed. It missed. Okay, we'll go and just get a skull poke here. And still not dead, really? Okay, there we go, finally. Now we just need a few more pokes. Of course, these things do gain barriers quite a bit, so Dispel would be pretty nice. There's currently, to my knowledge, no Dispel under Beast. I forget if there's a weapon that does it, though Mang would definitely be the superior choice. I'll just go for... did we devour the last one, too? I kind of want to. Probably a really bad idea. I'm not going to bother. We'll go let him bait out the skull here. One other nice thing about Forest Guardian is you'll notice here we're actually going to kill him right now. The reason for this is we have two different purple peers. One thing to note about Barrier is it only blocks one instance of damage, even if they happen simultaneously. So we are going to hit him with 2 skull pokes, but one of those skull pokes is going to break through his barrier, and the other one is going to kill him. So right here we got those two, and there he goes. So yeah, Forest Guardian into a Black Beast that just got buffed like crazy. He's pretty strong. Hey, a Celestial Trait stun from that, very nice. And the whole reason why I wanted to actually get that pack in the first place, hopefully we get a Raven here, or I'll barely have any battles for tonight. But, oh wow, that's a lot of battles for that. 65 for stage 8. I guess it goes up a level every single time or something. Or, you know, every time you do that many. I'm not completely sure on that yet, what that 65 will do once we reach it. But nonetheless, let's do our first ever 4-tower battle. I wanted to make sure I got to this so we can actually show it. So, of course, from this point on, we're pretty much just up against 4 towers every single time. These towers have complete invulnerability, means they're immune to mana drain, they're immune to instant kills, they're immune to devour, they're immune to every stats effect like death mark, freeze, all that kind of stuff. So basically you have 2 options, really heavy cast damage or very heavy skull damage. And in my case, I'm going to be going down the route of course, very heavy skull damage since we have Black Beast at our disposal this week. So I'm going to go up against these. They all have their own unique trait. Well, not all unique, but this one has like an Energize where it gains 3 magic every yellow. This one has a 2 to random skill and 4 times or 5 times matches. This one is basically a weaker version of Kraken with 1 damage to all. This one has Gorgotha's trait with 75% reduction, and they all have a different first trait and a different ability. Like this guy ends up exploding a row. They do gain quite a bit of stats, as you can see, to different things. They'll either have it on either like a higher life or a higher armor gain, or just do a little bit of damage, and all different types of things on them as far as what they do. For the most part, I do find them to be a little bit more interesting than the actual bosses, mainly mainly because with the boss, all it did was just instantly kill you, which wasn't too interesting in a way, because, well, there's no way to work around it. At least with these towers, you can kind of work around it, which does make these easier to defeat overall, but still, I do like the higher, slightly diversity on it, at least of teams. We're actually getting to see newer stuff instead of just randomly dying to Death Mark or Devour and stuff, which was pretty common in the other game mode. But anyways, we'll go move this over. They both are really, really similar, though. But we'll take a right over here, go get yourself a Mang down. I see a pretty steep spike in the amount of stats that these actually have in this higher one. I just noticed now. That is quite a bit higher than what we were just having to deal with. This time around, did we kill out that with Mang? It's tempting. I guess we go for it. This was the mistake I didn't do, or that I made the first time, where I didn't go for that. I guess we could technically try going for 2 Mangs, but not really worth it in most situations. Let's see what this guy does. He'll gain 8 life, 8 armor, also barrier, and then deals 61 true damage, randomly split. I thought that was too single target for a second. I was going to say, whoa, but actually randomly split isn't as intimidating because it's most likely not going to be effective. Well, we're just going to move that over just to get full mana real quick and get our Devour here and just go get that down. Doesn't matter if he really gets us back. Well, I guess it does a little bit, but we'll go use mana right back. We'll get another Spider here and hopefully have extra turn alignment. Doesn't look like it. Where do I throw this? I guess we can get rid of nothing at the moment, actually. We'll just go and take a poke and move from there. That will not be enough to kill him. Actually, do we have a drop for that? No, we do not. I'm just going to simply take this poke. He'll do whatever it is follow-up. And now we do have alignment, so let me get rid of these reds. We'll do that. Of course, we don't gain anything from the purples other than maybe having them convertible. Nothing we could do there, so let's go take a yellow. And still left with no possible option at this current moment for that, so I guess we just simply devour this and hope we have purple to skull alignment next turn. And we do not. That would be pretty convenient if we did. We could start plowing down his team the second we get that. We kind of have it now with a double poke that we can definitely use to kill him, though I did not see an extra turn off of it, so might not be worth going for. I guess we'll just go for a single poke for now, since that's pretty much what we would already be getting if we cast his ability. Once again, don't really have it at the moment. Does not seem to be worth it, though it would kill that out and would bring it so close to a win that I might as well do it, because that's pretty much already matched, and he doesn't use green, so there's no backlash that he can really do. I guess we can pretty much just go kill our Spider at this point and simply kill him out, and there we go. So that is Invasions. Slightly different than Raids, though very, very, very similar. It does take quite a bit more battles to get all the way to the max here, but you do gain some rewards as you do so. Also, I'm kind of curious. We end up getting like a power orb or something there. Take our guild tasks, and that's not the one I'm looking for, though. Oh, it's actually a random orb. Oh, interesting. That's actually better than I thought. If that was just the level up thing, yeah, that was pretty bad. But no, this game mode actually gives you a random chaotic orb. So that's cool. Okay, let's go see what it gives. Might as well. And 1 Orb of Chaos, new. That's funny because it'll always say new because you don't actually, you'll never actually have any since you automatically use them. Kind of weird, but let's go see what we get from it. Sweet. So what do we get? Come on, blue. Ah, no, not another Orb of Wisdom. Orb of Wisdom's used to give 1 trait to a troop. I have all the trait stones I'll ever need. This could, of course, be pretty good for newer players. I personally do not need them at all, but you would mainly want to use this on the 2nd or 3rd trait on a legend or a mythic is the main things you would want to use these single Orb of Wisdoms for, or to convert them into bigger orbs and eventually get power orbs to craft the mythic. Though personally, I'm not sure if I'm actually going to go craft that guy. Speaking about crafting, let me actually go over to Soulforge now, go over all the event stuff now that we've gone over the new game mode. As far as all these standard 6 convert things, nothing really to go for. As far as actual troops, there are 2 decent ones to go for. Kraken, which has a really nice final ability that does 3 damage to all enemies. Gains really good extra turn value. Not only does it gain 2 life itself, but 3 damage to all enemies for a total of 12 damage. It also has a pretty good chance at Devour, does a double tap to the last 2 enemies, and is pretty good at hitting 3rd slot, something that is normally pretty safe on an opposing team, but he hits pretty well. And it also creates 8 blues, so you can loop it with something like a giant spider, which is a pretty cheap troop to have. Also, its trait stone is available this week, so you can actually get it fully traded off of the arcane trait stones from the new troop. Other than that, other things that are worth crafting is the World Breaker if you want to go get it. My personal favorite for him, well, there's actually a lot of favorite teams, but he's currently the highest mana cost troop in the game. There's a really high amount of explosion, which does a good amount of mana accumulation for himself as well as the entire team, and a nice AoE damage to all the enemies to hit them all. My personal favorites, or one of my favorites to use it with, is using it with an all-dragon team with the Dragon Hero class using the Mountain Crusher, followed by a Dragon Soul, World Breaker, and then Glitter Claw. World Breaker plus Glitter Claw is an amazing combo because you cast down your World Breaker, you then get Glitter Claw mana, Glitter Claw then Fairy Fires everything for 50% additional damage off his ability, as well as anything else that happens to hit them, and then those green mana pretty much just fills World Breaker right back to full mana, and you just repeat the cycle and just do insane amounts of damage. Really heavy damage output if you've been needing one. He is among one of the best possible damage sources in the game right now. A little bit of a high liability, really bad against mana drain, obviously, due to how high it is. Can have struggles starting, but once he gets going, he pretty much stays going, assuming they don't randomly get like a Famine or Spirit Fox or any kind of standard mana drain kind of troop. Yep, those two are the main two to go and craft. Speaking about the event thing, let me actually go over to the actual new troop. It's not anything too over the top, actually pretty weak. As I mentioned, green-purple trait stones. Early on in the game, you'd want to go and put this into a Spirit Fox, which is a good mana drain option, as well as a good yellow counter, particularly for Guild War days. Fully traded is a great utility troop. There's actually quite a few green purples that have empowered, all of which are very useful, so do take a look at them, like Siren and stuff. And other than that, for late game, like I mentioned, you'd want to throw it for fully traded Kraken. As far as this troop itself, it is pretty weak. It is a Rashka Mystic. It gives an ally 19 attack and magic. There are a few troops that are already set up in this concept, and then it doubles their effect if they are Rashka. All of them that have had this concept are pretty much dead content, and he is no different. There is no point you would ever use this, maybe as a really new player, and you just want to maybe mess around with a Rashka team, and I will be showing one for that. Maybe you could get away with it, but for the most part, he's already dead content. I do have to say, pretty good traits though. He does have Mana Shield, and he does have Fire Link, and a lot of Rashkas do use red. So if you're wondering why he has Fire Link, it's mainly because of that. Almost everything that you would be using him Rashka-wise does use red mana, so I think like half of them, or 2/3 of them, all use red, so that kind of does make sense that he has Fire Link, even though it's not for his own color. Other than that, let's go into the other actual specific event objectives. We have 10% to all of the Rashkas, as well as 10% to all Beast, which is pretty helpful for the invasion, of course. You get 40 souls whenever you use this guy in PvP or Explore. Personally, I would only bother using an Explorer. Using in PvP would be kind of pointless unless you're towards a lower level side, in which case you might be able to get away with using him in PvP, but I wouldn't really bother. You're better off just using a standard soul farming team, unless you kind of just want to plop him in. But one reason I say you might want to use an Explorer this week is you do gain the event objective this week to get all these rewards is to go kill things and explore. So of course we could just go to whatever kingdom we need trait stones in. Right now yellow green is my lowest, and we can simply go use a standard quick team. This is the budget team that is pretty easy to obtain for any player for the most part. Sunbird's the only really hard thing to obtain from this team. It is an ultra rare. Rowan you get for free from Forest of Thorns. Firebomb is a common that you could easily get from gold keys. It does require Firebomb being fully traded, though it's pretty cheap since it is a common, so not too much out of your way to really go and get that. Right here, we'll just go get to full mana, get our extra turn, throw either Rowan or Sunbird, doesn't really matter too much. Rowan normally is a little bit more damage though, and just can simply do that, and every single time we do that, as you can see, we get 4 event gems, so that's pretty much all we'll have to do for the event. Pretty quick one this week, since Explore is very easy to take out. I believe it takes about approximately 5 hours or so to complete out this task, maybe a little bit longer, depending on your rate. And also, as you can see, we are getting 40 additional souls for every single battle that we do, due to having the Spiritmane all the way in our team. So basically, if you're using Spiritmane for anything, this is personally the only thing I would bother using it for this week, though I will be showing some teams for a couple other things that you can kind of be messing around with. So we're just going to take that red right there, get the Sunbird in, and that will clear it up and complete it out. So let's just leave here. We can do the rest of that later. I think we just got, oh, that's just a skill task. Never mind. But let's go and event keys. So are event keys worth using? Pretty much no. There's only 2 drops in here, Behemoth and Sikima. Behemoth is an impervious troop that has a 8 HP gain every extra turn. Really small AoE, not really that worth using in most cases, unless you happen to be building like a full impervious team. That's about the only time it really comes into play. As far as Sikima is a little bit more worth it. She has a brown to yellow convert and blue to skull convert. It's not like a Divine Isabella, but it is one of the decent ones out there. Has really high single target damage. Basically, the way that you use a Sikima is you hit out the first slot on the opposing team, and then that allows you to skull spam into the rest. And I will be showing a team with her as well, as you probably already saw from the previous thing. But anyways, let me go actually bring this down. I'm going to show the budget team first, for any of you that might want to use them as a newer player. We're going to be going with actually completely full Rashka. I figured we might as well. They gain a lot of attack. I think they gain like 6 attack or something. Let me go under their team bonus. They gain a pretty competent amount of attack if you want to use this in early game. 6 bonus attack and 2 bonus HP. We're not even... Wait. It's not Pride Lands in this team. Hold up. Why does this only say 3 unique Pride Lands? Am I missing something here? Wait. Am I going crazy? Isn't that 4 unique Pride Lands? Or am I just going crazy? Pretty sure I'm just going crazy. I'm pretty sure, almost 100% certain, those are all Pride Land troops. What am I missing here? Oh, Dragwire Warrior isn't. Ah, okay, never mind. I forgot. Yeah, I don't even need to go check that now. Yes, never mind. He's from Suncrest. Got me. Yep, it even says it right there. I keep forgetting cards actually say it on their thing now. It's because I barely ever even used them. He came in as basically dead content, but there are some purposes for him in early game, and this is basically it. As more Rashkas come into the game, some things tend to get slightly, or you know, as more typings of a specific troop get into the game, sometimes they can become a little bit more viable than they were in the past. Basically with him, if he gets the final kill, he actually gets a full heal. Similar to how we were doing with Black Beast earlier, where we just kept devouring our team to get full heals. This guy can do it whenever he gets a kill, which is a little bit annoying to set up, though earlier in the game you tend to get kills a lot quicker. But we'll go for this. As you can see, he does double. That ends up giving him his little bit of magic buff, which will make it easier for him to get kills. And of course that higher attack, which almost brings us up to one-shot range for killing everything out. And we can go use that right over there to kind of just go and disable them if we want to go get some silences. So for now, I do want to just get this poke to make sure that Dragon Soul does indeed die. Hopefully we'll get lucky and we'll hit that, we'll hit the 50% chance that he will not revive. So right there, we'll go for that poke. We can clean up right now if we so choose. I'm going to wait just a second though. Maybe he'll waste some mana, or we could find a way to kill him out that way and gain our additional attack. So I think that is going to be the route we go down. We're going to take a red here just to get a little bit of mana, and that will be enough to kill it out. Just take that, double check everything else, doesn't look like it. That'll be the final blow we need. We now got very lucky, we gained our attack there as well. Got the kill, didn't even summon or anything. Now we go for another buff, and we basically just keep it going, and he'll get easier kills since he keeps getting magic. He keeps getting attack, just allowing him to go into one-shot range, and we're not even going to need this. I was thinking of putting Moneylender here, but then that wouldn't go with the whole kind of using Rashka kind of concept. But of course, they all have 10% this week due to the Rashka event. What do we have here that's even remotely useful? I'm going to bait him into taking those greens. There's this purple chance too, but I'm hoping he'll take that green specifically and set it up for us. So right here, I'm going to just poke on that. I was going to say, he better not land at instant kill. Of course, of course. This is actually the whole reason why I have this guy in second slot. He can simply go and just keep buffing himself up. He also is immune to mana drains and all those kind of things. So that will help a little bit, but that is quite unfortunate. We could actually lose this battle now, simply because he just killed it out instantly. One other thing to note is nothing in the entire game that is player-owned has immunity to what he just did. It's a 25% chance that that will just happen. Doesn't matter what the troop is, it will just happen. Impervious does not block against it. The only trait that blocks against it is that invulnerability, but currently the only things that have invulnerability are not obtainable by players. It's the bosses from raid bosses and the towers from invasions are the only thing that has invulnerability, which has immune to instant kills like that. Maybe they'll add something that has it as on a player-based side. Mainly because we already know that they can do it. They already added it, so probably wouldn't be too hard for them to go make a different trait that might give it to them. They probably wouldn't make it as good as the invulnerability thing, but they might make it like a smaller version, like immune to instant kills, death mark, and maybe just those two. Like every instant kill, like a devour, death mark, and instant kills, while still keeping it non-immune to all the other stats effects and such. But we'll see what they do in the future. Anyways, if he kills us again, I might as well just retreat from this battle. That'd be pretty pitiful. But you kind of get the concept here. Please do not instant kill us again. Okay. That's somewhat unfortunate still, but at least it's not an instant kill. So I'll take it. We'll go and throw the yellow over right there. Since he has full ability, or full mana right there, Let's go get that down. This does not have an HP buff, unfortunately, on it, so we can't use it to survive. So no point in really casting at the moment. I guess we could throw it down on the next in line if we really wanted to. But we'll go kill that out just in case he feels like unsilencing himself. He's using a pure dragon team, so he would be able to get a pretty hefty buff if that was to go down, so definitely want to deny it. This team actually is something that you'd probably see earlier on in the game as far as team compositions are concerned, particularly with like Dragon Souls followed by a bunch of random dragons. That is a very common early game team out there, simply due to how strong Dragon Soul is. As you can see, that's basically the general premise of the team. A little bit unfortunate that he died. He was supposed to live forever by constantly gaining his HP back, but nope! Instant killed by 25% chance. Anyways, oh, that is such an annoying team, I almost feel like repicking it. We can get trolled very heavily here, but I don't know. I kind of want to leave it in this order. I guess we'll just hope we get lucky, and just hope it doesn't go bad. Maybe we'll repick. Oh no, we'll stick with it. If nothing else, we could just do another battle afterwards. Why not? But anyways, here's the Sikima team. There's a lot of various Sikima teams. This one is not one I personally really used much in the past. It uses the Moneylender Alchemist combo. I was testing it a little bit earlier, and it is quite amazing when I was trying to find another Sikima team to show for right now, instead of showing one of the old ones I have already shown. But yeah, it is quite potent. So right here, we'll go take a purple. We'll let him do whatever. I was hoping he would go for a Corvash there, so we're just going to have to kind of wait it out and see where things go from here. Right here, I don't want to take that skull. It gives him reds. Okay. I'll take brown here, because there's a chance he'll take that skull, and if he takes that skull, we actually get to start getting this team going. So hopefully he'll take that skull this time. I didn't want him taking the first one, but I definitely wanted him taking that one, and I think we just won. We can infinitely loop with this team, which is kind of interesting. Hopefully we'll land this. If we land this, we have a good chance of winning. Okay. Oh, it was an extra turn. No! Well, we kind of landed it. Not really. Okay, well, we'll go and take this red right here. Need to go rebuild his mana, obviously. Hopefully he won't deny out yellow with his Valkyrie. Yeah, that Valkyrie could actually be really bad, whatever he decides to do here. We'll see. As long as he doesn't do yellow, we should be okay. Oh, no, but he's going to get another Corvash. I had a feeling something like this would happen. No, he reordered my stuff. Well, I guess it's not the worst of things. I mainly have Christinex there in case they go for Entangle and also for the Stone Skin. Though the fact he has it perpetually stunned isn't really helping as much, so I guess that isn't the worst of things that could have happened. But anyways, hopefully this doesn't miss for a second time. And it actually missed for a second time. That is amazing. Please don't Corvash us. That's our only chance of not death here. Okay. Now that it's done being ridiculously annoying, hopefully, we still got our loop in place. And double check. Do we have alignment here? If not, that is pretty much match. We do indeed have it. So, one really nice thing that Sikima... Oh, we're frozen on red, though. That's actually quite unfortunate. But one pretty nice thing about this is we can go for that little bit of poke. Normally, we would be able to get a kill here and wipe out the first slot before we go throw a bunch of skull spam into it. This time around, we're not going to be able to, so I'm not going to really bother. We'll just go for a skull here, and now would be a good time to actually throw a Sikima into it. We are frozen on that red, so got to be wary. Can't really throw that down, unfortunately. So got to be careful what we actually go for here, as doing some kind of red at this current moment will not help us. But it does look like we'll be able to get a Sikima to go clean that up. I want to go take this skull this way. I don't want to take that one because it will give him a extra turn, which will give him, of course, a freeze. So he'll take that. I really need to get unfrozen to have our good chance of winning this. Is still quite a possibility that he can just win. We'll take this purple here just to work up Sikima some. Hopefully he won't get a skull, and he doesn't. And again, he also doesn't. We're still frozen though, so no way to really work around that other than maybe getting a really, really lucky alchemist there. So we're going to go try for that. And we actually did indeed get that very lucky alchemist that we needed. Though, what is our follow-up? We actually do have follow-up here. So I'm going to go and let the skull spam hit. We'll just go and throw the tap on that one, since we can simply just go take all of these skulls, and that should be enough simply by taking another move here. This will not be an extra turn, but it will give us a lot of red. Where it's not an extra turn, of course, and it will actually give the double skull too. But it's not an extra turn because we're still frozen on red there. But we'll get the double tap, and now we just need one more poke. And that'll be match. Or not match, of course. Valkyrie, a Queen Mab. Never mind, it's still over. We'll take the red, we'll get the Sikima. You got this, Sikima. You got this. This definitely deserves a rematch. Well, we'll go take the poke that we needed. Come on, Sikima. You got this comeback. We're frozen now on first slot since he's now right there. Though we're not frozen on yellow, so that still gives us an extra turn. And what else do we need? We're not frozen on yellow still. So I guess we can go and get rid of something really weird like I guess, purple. I know that doesn't seem like it would be good, but in this case, it actually would work out for us. I guess we could get rid of red, too, which, again, isn't really that good of a color to get out. But I'm going to see how much that would actually help us. Not much, actually. I don't think that will land us an extra turn or anything. Wow, why must this board be so bad? Okay, we'll go for that. And now we can just take out the skull. And let me go do that again, because that did not show that team any justice at all. Just getting trolled by Freeze the entire time, pretty much. Here we go. We'll go test it against a Scion. Probably not a good idea either for testing things, but hey, we'll go throw it at it. But yeah, let's try getting that Alchemist Moneylender combo into Sikima. Was working really well, but now it just doesn't want to work for me. We'll just go and, okay, so he's going to go and take the skull, so that's perfectly fine. We barely have any mana. Him doing that isn't really going to hurt us at all. Again, I think I might just let him take another skull. 2 mana isn't really going to break us. We'll try for a red there, and we got it, so we should be good to go from here. Hopefully he will not miss his first cast and lead to all the shenanigans from the previous battle. It is possible, of course, that is a liability of him, but of course it happened again. Oh, no, it didn't. Okay. We're safe, it's all good. It's all good, okay. So, of course, we have 2 converts here. We have brown to yellow as well as a blue to skull. So we have both of these to try to utilize and try to set up as in whatever we move here. So I'm going to move that over. Doesn't actually give us any alignment all the way. We have a bunch of pairs. I don't think any of that is a full extra turn anywheres. I don't think we can actually get it from just simply taking a turn here. So I'm going to move that. Yes, we can. Never mind. I didn't see that. So now we can go and throw this on Gorgulfa. The reason I'm specifically throwing on Gorgulfa is he has, of course, Granite Skin, which is 75% skull reduction, and we don't want to have to deal with that once we're trying to tear through his team. So here we'll just simply get a Alchemist and clear out a little bit of a board, so we can then go straight into Moneylender, and hopefully that gives us exactly what we need as far as alignment. So hoping that the additional yellow would give us exactly the positioning we needed, but not quite yet. And we still don't have it. We don't have blue to skull, nor do we have brown to yellow. So I am going to hold. Maybe we can get an Alchemist somewheres on not red. Well, I guess technically we could get rid of red too if we truly wanted to, but that would be that wouldn't really leave us with much follow-up. So I guess I am going to go for a poke here, just because it will double kill. Oh, whoa, no, well, never mind. We don't have a skull poke anywhere. Ooh, yeah, that's a little bad then. Never mind. Well, I'll just go for the kill that I kind of have to go for now. He's going to get a little bit of value out of this, but have to get something down. We'll go through the Moneylender there to get our mana right back up, and double check to see what we kind of have as far as board. Once again, not really much to take here. That will actually be useful on this specific board. Can we get anything good for Alchemist? Obviously, we could do red, but I do want to try holding off on that if we can. Looks like at this point, I simply just go for Sikima. No point in taking that skull since he's just going to live anyway, so we'll go for that. He's going to get a bit of mana there, but if anything else, he's almost just going to clear the board into our favor, so I really don't mind him casting an Infernus here. Right now, we'll go for those reds, of course. Double checking every other move we have. Again, no alignment. Not really being too nice to us today, but there we go, right on top, getting those blues. That'll give us the little bit of Moneylender now. Not really worth casting on this current board. Probably just going to wait till he clears out everything, and then we can kind of go from there. And we'll have, oh, never mind, we'll go kill it out. Well, we would have accuracy next. But we'll go and simply take our reds here. Get our mana right back up. I'll be able to poke away his barrier and then go for the poke. And again, no alignment. We'll go for a... We can actually kill him right now, though again, we give him mana if I do so. I don't know if that's a good enough trade-off. We've done it so many times already this battle, might as well keep going with it. So we'll go for the poke there. That will then allow us to get a Alchemist, hopefully into the Moneylender Sikima. This should align this time. If it doesn't align on this board, there is something wrong. So we'll go for that. And come on, brown to yellow, blue to skull. Really? Nope, it just doesn't like me today. Let's go for that. Get our Moneylender back up. Do I just throw him just to get alignment? Well, if nothing else, we do gain 3 magic per thing. We have so much magic on her right now, but of course with the barrier that he keeps getting isn't really going to be doing too much for us since we have to go and tear through the barrier as well. So I'm just going to go for Skull. I'm not even going to bother trying to set Alchemist up for anything. Keeps not wanting to work right now, but we'll go and get that down just to try it one last time, see if we can get that brown to yellow. It doesn't look like we have it. Still, the skulls are not really going to do anything for us here with their current positioning. I could maybe go for one more Alchemist, though I don't really foresee that giving us anything too good of value, so we'll just go move that over. And we can take the Skull Poke, get rid of that barrier, though once again, This looks like we're in a bit of a sticky situation because he's going to basically wipe my entire team. So we're going to go for this, hopefully get lucky, and we actually do for once. So, Sikima, what do we have as far as your alignment? Nothing! That's kind of to be expected at this point, but we'll go and get an alchemist here. And please, have an option now. Well, we have a skull. Nowhere's near enough to kill it. I think we go for Moneylender here to give us a new board. And new board doesn't have what we need. Actually, I don't even think it has an alchemist to try to save us either, which is even worse. Also, we don't even have a poke here either to make that even worse on top of the worst. So, what is the game plan here then? Do we just throw down a single cast, I guess? We don't have the alchemist to save us. I'll go throw that down. And we have one last chance out of Sikima. You got this. No, she doesn't have this. We could actually lose this. Really? I don't know why you don't want to work right now. But that is match. There's no way to come back unless we extra turn into our full mana, which actually is possible, though very, very, very unlikely. I guess we take a... Well, in order to do that, we would need to find a... how do we even manage this? No, it's not going to work. Because I would basically have to take that skull into extra turn that also full manas us. We'll have a 4 times at the bottom, so maybe we'll just get the most luckiest thing ever, like a triple purple go. That's not even remotely close. But anyways, rip. What, do I need to go bring the Inferno King team back out? Okay, 3rd time's the charm. There's no way it is going to troll us this badly 3 times in a row. Maybe if we're up against a Spirit Fox it will. Okay, fine. We'll go find the non-freeze, non-scion, non-annoying team we can. Here we go. Standard Gorgolfa and Furnace Dawnbringer Mercy team. Really, really nice team to be running. Of course, we are in a little bit of a disadvantage with Gorgolfa, but since she has that single pokes, we will be able to take that out. So, of course, as I mentioned, this is about one of the only useful things that are actually within the event key drop pool right now. With that being said, as you can kind of see, how useful is she? Well, she actually is pretty useful, but she's just not wanting to be at the moment, apparently. We'll go move that down. I do consider her as the 2nd best double convert. It's just not really working out at the moment, but it happens sometimes. Not enough reds to really make this work, so at the moment we're probably just going to have to go for Skull, but then again, Skull is pretty bad against Gorgolfa, so we're just going to simply go for some Christine X mana. Normally we would be doing that to get rid of things like blues and greens on the board, just to make sure that we have more of what we actually need, so that we can kind of keep her loop going, though we haven't really had the chance of doing that due to the circumstances of our battles. So right here, I'm actually going to kind of just pass my turn. A lot of blues this time around, which is really nice, but I'm going to wait till he Gorgolfas. I want him to do Gorgolfa, which he would go for it. I need him to clear out the board so we can start working from there. We'll get a nice convert. I guess we could technically start going now. The only concern of me doing that now, though, is it's... you know, I'm just going to do it now. It's just he's going to clear the board right now, but luckily he goes for the skull, so he doesn't actually clear it. And we should be able to get a Moneylender here. As long as this doesn't miss, we're good to go. And it pure misses. We don't even get a single speck of mana. Apparently, we'll just need to retire this team. As soon as it came in, it's already gone. Okay, we'll go and... do I seriously have to get rid of red here? I think I do. Oh, wait, well, no, we do have Sikima up at the moment. Though, again, no alignment for the billionth time in a row. To be expected at this point, though. So, what do we have? Alchemist. Can you not do something horrible? Let's see. Well, at least with a Skull Poke, it would still kind of take him out some. We could go forward to Cascade and just... He already almost has full mana and everything. I could throw Sikima and just kind of see where that brings us. Because we are going to get a couple Peers here and there. We're going to get Moneylender likely to full. So, as bad as this might be, I am going to go for the cast here due to our lack of options. And we did get lucky and got exactly what I wanted, so perfect. We'll now be able to go right into a Moneylender. Finally, luck back in our favor just a little bit. We finally have an alignment right there. Boom, kill out the Gorgolfa. And looks like we finally got this team doing what it needs to be doing. So we'll go and throw Moneylender here. That shouldn't miss with that many on the board. No alignment because there's not enough blues or anything. We'll go and... kind of just move the board a little bit until we can get something to work here. Doesn't look like it, so we're just going to have to, I guess, go for another convert. See if we can get enough off the board to get something working. We get another skull poke there. That will not be enough to kill it out by any means, not even close. But we will still get that poke nonetheless. And will at least give us some progress, and then we can go into another moneylender caster. So he'll do whatever. Looks like he just goes simply for a poke, get the moneylender, and now we finally have some of the alignments that we need. And as I mentioned earlier, doing multiple pokes at once, we'll just hit right through that barrier. Good to go. We'll just go throw, I guess, some money bags now. Maybe just move that skull. See what else we have to move. Maybe a red to green, yellow to skull. Actually, double check. Do we have? No, we don't even have Sikima up. So we'll just go get that actually real quick and see if that will give us anything. Not really, though. It could give us a lucky cascade, and we could do that to just kill that out. So you know what? We are going to do that. Try for the cascade. Oh wait, that was already. Oh, okay. I completely did not see that. Apparently, we had an extra turn already there. There was a brown there that I guess I didn't look at. But yeah, that helped us to get our extra turn, get a bunch of pokes, and just take that out into a Christinex here, and we should pretty much be good to go. Well, not the best that it could have possibly done, but finally it didn't do horrible. That's a pretty low standard to set, but glad to see that third time actually did come through for us. Definitely not the most perfect of battle coming through, but yeah, Sikima, double convert. You normally use it to feed yourself yellow mana and stuff like that. You tend to use things that can spawn red for it. Hellcat and Moneylender are two of the better options for that. You can also pair it with Inferno King, which is a interesting combo, but for the most part, you will very rarely see me using it. I tend to stick away from Skull Spam. Divine Isabella has been one of the few Skull Spams I've really used lately. And of course the Black Beast for the current Evasion game mode, but that's different because it's a completely different game mode. But anyways, that's basically everything with the event. Not really too much with this event as far as newer content is concerned. Mainly just the whole invasions is the main thing of this week. So yeah, there's pretty much just that. Do keep in mind, for any of you that are still interested, the new Mythic that came in on Friday is still available right now, as well as until Friday at reset time. So if you still are interested in getting Champion of Anu, he is still available till the end of Thursday or Friday reset. So do make sure to pick up a copy of him if you want to try to attempt it in Glory Keys, Gem Keys, Guild Keys, and VIP chests. And starting Friday, all of the troops will be in a drop pool again. So if you want to not get this Mythic, that would be the time you'd want to go and do it if you're not saving them for a kingdom. But anyways, guys, I will see you all later. If you still have any other questions about invasions or anything of the such, feel free to leave it in the comment section below. Thank you all so much for watching, and have a wonderful week. Goodbye, everyone.